Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into the actual modern research behind something you literally have sitting in your kitchen pantry right now. Yep, we're talking about cinnamon. Now, it's been a staple in traditional medicine for centuries, but we want to know what modern science actually has to say about it. So, could a common kitchen spice really transform your health? Well, let's dive into that. Because while cinnamon has an amazing history, the internet makes some pretty wild claims about it today. Seriously, if you scroll through social media, you'd think a quick sprinkle of this stuff is the ultimate health hack. But let's look past all that hype and focus on the actual evidence when it comes to blood sugar, heart health, inflammation, and more. Right off the bat, here is the absolutely crucial takeaway. Cinnamon is a really helpful spice, but it is not a miracle cure. Its potential benefits heavily depend on three main things: the amount you use, the specific type of cinnamon you buy, and your own personal baseline health. So it's a great teammate, but definitely not a magic wand. In this explainer, we'll break down the science-backed reality into four quick areas: metabolic health, cellular health, the weight loss truth, and cinnamon's safety. All right, let's kick things off with section 1, metabolic health. So let's talk about insulin. That's the hormone that helps move glucose out of your bloodstream and into your cells so it can be used for energy. Now, what's really interesting here is that some studies suggest cinnamon might actually produce a modest improvement in insulin sensitivity. And since becoming less sensitive to insulin makes blood sugar incredibly difficult to control, this is a big deal. Research has found cinnamon might modestly improve fasting blood glucose. But just to be completely transparent with you, the results aren't perfectly consistent across every single study out there. Some show clear benefits, while others find little to no significant effect. And the perks might go beyond just blood sugar. Some clinical trials are reporting positive effects on the heart, too. Cinnamon may modestly support things like total cholesterol, LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, triglycerides, and even blood pressure. Now, the most impressive results usually show up in people who are already facing metabolic issues, but it really goes to show that cinnamon can be a fantastic addition to a broader, heart-friendly lifestyle. But wait, we need to be very clear about this. Cinnamon is a supportive food. It is not a replacement for medical treatment. Yes, it can help those blood sugar and heart markers, but it should never, ever replace your diabetes medication, your exercise routine, or a balanced diet. If you have high cholesterol, blood pressure, or diabetes, you don't just stop taking your prescribed meds because you started sprinkling cinnamon on your oatmeal. Also, quick reality check. Adding cinnamon to a giant sugary dessert doesn't automatically make that dessert healthy. But using it to naturally flavor your food without dumping in extra sugar or salt, that is a fantastic choice. Okay, moving right along to section 2, cellular health. Did you know cinnamon actually has a relatively high antioxidant capacity? It's packed with polyphenols. These are bioactive plant compounds that literally help protect your cells from oxidative stress and free radicals. See, our bodies naturally produce these molecules called free radicals, and when we get too much oxidative stress, it can lead to cellular damage and all sorts of chronic health problems. Cinnamon steps right in here as a powerful source of natural plant compounds to help manage that stress. But here's the thing, you don't need to eat massive spoonfuls of the stuff to get these cellular benefits. The smartest approach is building a diet that's naturally rich in antioxidants. We're talking berries, vegetables, nuts, legumes, and various herbs. Cinnamon is just one delicious piece of that overall puzzle. Now, while short-term inflammation is just a normal, important part of how our bodies heal, chronic inflammation is where the long-term trouble starts. Cinnamon's plant compounds have actually demonstrated anti-inflammatory effects in laboratory studies, which is super exciting. But, and this is a huge but, we have to remember that a successful lab test in a petri dish does not automatically mean eating a cinnamon roll is going to cure an inflammatory disease in a human being. Keep those expectations grounded. All right, let's get into section 3, the weight loss truth. Can cinnamon alone really burn belly fat or dramatically speed up your metabolism? Seriously, if you spend 5 minutes on social media, you have probably seen claims that drinking cinnamon water will effortlessly melt away the pounds. There are endless viral posts claiming this everyday spice is the ultimate secret to a flat stomach. Well, let me save you some time. No. To be perfectly clear, there is absolutely no strong evidence that simply eating or drinking cinnamon will cause significant weight loss all on its own. While better blood sugar regulation might indirectly support your health, cinnamon is just not a magical fat burner. Real weight management comes down to actual scientifically proven factors. We're talking overall calorie intake, the quality of your food, your sleep, stress levels, physical activity, and yep, even your genetics. Those social media myths about cinnamon water single-handedly causing weight loss, total fiction. But there is a genuinely smart way to use it. Think about swapping out refined sugar in your plain yogurt or homemade smoothie for a dash of cinnamon. You get incredible flavor for practically 0 calories. Now that is how you realistically use cinnamon in a weight management strategy.
Finally, let's wrap up with Section 4, Cinnamon Safety.
Not all cinnamon is created equal. We have Ceylon cinnamon versus Casio cinnamon. This is a really crucial distinction. The stuff you usually find sitting on the grocery store shelf is Cassia cinnamon, and it generally contains much higher levels of a natural compound called coumarin. If you're just using tiny amounts, it's not an issue. But if you're eating large amounts of it daily, high levels of coumarin can actually be a concern for your liver. Ceylon cinnamon, on the other hand, which is often labeled as true cinnamon, is much lower in coumarin, making it a better choice if you're consuming it regularly in larger amounts. So, what are the safe usage tips? For most of us, just sprinkling ordinary culinary amounts into a smoothie, your morning tea, or coffee is perfectly safe. Just use it to add flavor instead of sugar. But you should absolutely avoid treating it like a medicine or taking large concentrated supplements without talking to a professional first. And this is especially true if you are pregnant, have liver disease, or take medications that affect your liver or blood sugar, because those concentrated supplements can cause some unwanted interactions. Okay, let's quickly recap our explainer today. Here are the 5 legitimate, science-backed benefits you can actually enjoy when you add this flavorful teammate to a balanced diet. 1. It supports healthy blood sugar regulation. 2. It provides fantastic antioxidant compounds. 3. It supports some heart health markers. 4. It aids a healthy weight management lifestyle by replacing added sugar. And 5. It contains anti-inflammatory properties. But remember, the absolute greatest health benefits are always going to come from your overall lifestyle, nutritious food, regular movement, and quality sleep. Small spice, smart choices. So, how will you use cinnamon to build a healthier overall lifestyle today? Remember, natural doesn't always mean more is better, but it definitely means we have powerful, supportive tools hiding right inside our pantries. So the next time you reach into your spice cabinet, it kind of makes you wonder, what other everyday ingredients have untamed scientific potential waiting to be unlocked? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring the science behind every day.